Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Wounded Healer, where we make the human experience more enjoyable. I'm your host, Keith, and happy belated New Year. 2023 is upon us, and I hope so far it is going well for everyone. Yes, it is a few days past New Year's Eve and a few days past New Year's Day. You've probably already listened to, heard, seen, talked about resolutions and goals and top fives, how to achieve it, and the do's and the don'ts and the who's and the won'ts. But I wanted to wait a couple days. And plus, I've been busy. I've been busy setting up a new office area, building a table, a new desk to work off of. You know, I'm getting after this thing. And I have a job, and I'm a dad. So I've been busy. But I did this on purpose. I wanted to wait. I wanted everyone to get settled back into their routines, into their lives, and just reality, right? And I wanted the hangovers to pass because pretty sure, you know, if you like anybody else, you went out, got it done, champagne toast, new year, new me, started talking about what you're going to do, what you're not going to do, and boom. You pass out, you wake up, and you have no idea. So now we're going to figure it out. You know, now it's time to get real about it, and it's time to assess where we're at and what we actually can achieve. But where did the New Year's resolution even come from? Well, I was doing some research, and I found this neat little study or some evidence that nearly 4,000 years ago, like the Babylonians set the first New Year's resolutions. They were doing it more in the springtime. So I'm not quite sure, like the March, I guess, springtime. I'm not quite sure how it started in January. If anyone knows, please educate me on that. But I thought that was kind of neat. So it's something that's been around for a very long time, like most things, and, you know, it just gets passed down or it evolves. But statistically, we are doomed when it comes to resolutions, goals, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go with goals moving forward. It's just easier to say. So statistically, nearly 25% of the folks after the first week are done. They've already given up. They've already forgotten. That's a lot. That's a high percentage of folks just bailing out. And then after a month, it drops another 10%. So literally before February, over 40% of people that make New Year's resolutions or set goals fail within a month. They've already given up, done, not doing it, moved on, picked something else. And it just doesn't look good for us, right? Like, man, if you look at that, you look at yourself and you know you better than I do. I just know me, and I'm speaking for myself. I would say, well, shit, I'm definitely one of those 40%. I'm done. There's too many things going on, not a priority. Moving on. And, you know, hell, and then after 6 months, that's it. It's over half, and there's a few people left still in it. And kudos to them, and may their lives be better for it. So it's not easy is what I'm saying. If you've failed in the past, guess what? You're not alone. Do not be discouraged. Do not, look at that and go, well, I can't because these, don't compare yourself. Don't be discouraged. Don't compare yourself. That's what I'm going to say. Don't even look at that. Just be you, and we'll figure out how to get there with what you're working with. And in reality, it takes a good 3 to 6 months for a goal to stick. So what that really means is it takes consistency, effort, determination. It takes you getting after it, putting the work in. So it's not easy. Just remember that. If you failed in the past, if you didn't achieve a goal, it's okay. But moving forward, we're going to make it less okay because we're going to give you the tools, some knowledge, the ability of how to get there. And what are some of those reasons why people are not successful? Well, for one, you set an unrealistic goal. And that's why I wanted to wait a couple days once the New Year's hangover passes, the high of everyone and all your friends and family setting goals and social media and you jumping in and getting on the bandwagon and you just picking something because other folks picked it, or you picking something because you think that's what the world wants you to do. No, let's get real. Some realistic stuff. Stuff that you're capable of. And I was thinking about that kind of like a resume if you were to apply for a job. So if you can imagine, just stick with me here. If you can imagine you writing out a resume and the goal is the employer that you're trying to get a job with. So you're trying to get this goal, and in order to get this goal, your resume needs to match what that goal is looking for. And if your resume doesn't have the skills and abilities that goal needs, you're not going to get it, right? You're not going to get the job. You're not going to get that goal. And that's okay. So that's when you give yourself feedback. That's when you look and say, okay, well, what am I really, truly capable of? Where are the areas that I need to work on to continue to get better? So we need realistic, not unrealistic goals. Another reason why people fail is they just don't keep track of it. You got to write it down. You need to look at it. You need to be aware of it. And again, this goes back, in the Bible. I think, and this isn't about religion. I'm just a guy that will read, learn, research, look, like everything. I just want to know everything. So I'm not one way or another on any of these things. It's just stuff that it's reference points. But the Lord in the Bible said to Habakkuk, I think that's how you pronounce his name, write down the vision and make it plain so that the runner can carry a clear message. That's over 2,000 years ago, 2,500 years ago. Write it down. Make that vision clear. Make your goal clear. Write it down so you can see it, so you're aware of it, so you can look at it, hold yourself accountable. Because if you don't, more than likely, not going to happen. Out of sight, out of mind, right? And some folks just flat out forget. They just commit to too many goals. I think the statistics were something like 1 out of 10 said that they actually just made too many goals. And we'll come back to that here in a minute. But just overdoing it, right? Again, think of it, look at that resume. Are you capable of more than one goal? Do you have the skills and the ability to achieve more than one goal? Probably not. That's okay. Let's focus. Now, and then just not being supported. We look around and look at your support group, your support system. Yes, are some of these things obtainable on your own? Yes, they are. And, you should set personal goals that you can do without anyone's help. But for some of those bigger goals, some of those goals that are in combination of other things, like you need support. You need folks there to encourage you, to move you along, to hold you accountable. And that's okay. And it should be done in a healthy way. And if you don't have those folks in your life, or better yet, if you have people in your life that do not support you in a healthy way, do not encourage you, do not push you when you need to be pushed, do not care for you, do not comfort you when you feel like you can't do it. If those folks are doing the opposite, then you need to do an inventory and see what you need to get rid of. And we'll leave it at that. That's okay too. And then there's, the life changes. Anything could happen, right? And we can go on and on and on and make excuses. We kind of see where I went, what I did there. Some of this stuff can be excuses, and some of it's not. Only you can determine that. And if you, which we probably have, if you go on YouTube, you go on these podcasts, you start reading articles, you're going to see a majority of these goals or resolutions are the exact same thing every year, the most popular ones. I want to be healthier. I want to eat healthier. I want to get in shape. It's that self-improvement area is big, is a big focus in the beginning of the year. It's a lot of health-related resolutions. And then you have the I want to quit smoking. I want to quit drinking. I want to get fit. I want to manage stress better. A lot of stuff based on appearance that I've noticed. If you look at some of the most popular resolutions, a lot of appearance-based goals, and then a lot of just bad habit. I want to break those bad habits. And why the appearance, I believe, comes just from that social acceptance, our own insecurities. Obviously now, social media, big driver in that. The bad habits, I think, also can come from some of that social circle, the insecurities, the social media, the just stuff that we haven't dealt with. So in my opinion, that self-improvement area should be something that you focus on daily. And I'm not saying you should wake up every morning and say, I want to be better than everybody else. But you should wake up every morning and say, I want to be the best version of me. And that's what you should work towards every day. So that should just be a constant, ongoing goal. You're making good choices. You're doing what's right for you, what's best for you, what's best for the folks around you. You're making yourself better to help make them better, and so on. And then I'm not saying that you shouldn't smoke less and you shouldn't drink less and you and all of that. But what I'm saying is these are the things that if you have not been focusing on those areas, starting now, yes, you need to start somewhere, but it's going to be a long road. And you're probably going to fail, and you're probably going to get discouraged, and you're probably going to get upset and mad. And at the end of the day, psychologically, it could increase these bad habits. So just be careful. There's different ways to go about this and how to approach that. But again, just try to be the best you, best version of you every day. Again, if we'll get into this now and get this out of the way, because I know if you've watched any YouTube video now or any podcast, they are throwing around the word dopamine. Dopamine has become that new trendy transmitter, and I say that because it's a neurotransmitter, but everyone talks about dopamine now. I think just because of those Netflix specials and all this, and it makes you sound really cool when you start talking about dopamine. I love saying it. I love everything that has to do with it. But just simply put, dopamine is a neurotransmitter, and it is a chemical produced near the base of the brain, and it is produced by converting two amino acids, and then a dopaminergic neuron is released during an action potential when the brain is experiencing a reward. That's the most simplistic way I can explain, the dopamine and it being released. But the point is, pay attention to this. It is released during an action potential, that's when two neurons fire. We've talked about this in the past. There's a little cleft. These neurotransmitters get shot out of one into another area where the clefts are. It gets stuck. Some gets re-up intake, and then the other stuff dissolves. It happens fast. We're talking seconds, or it's fast. But it's when the brain is expecting a reward. The expectance of it. So the act of setting a goal releases that neurotransmitter, dopamine, and motivates you to take productive action. And not only does it spike when we set the goal for ourselves, but it also, when we are close to achieving that goal. So it can, you can think of it as the bigger the reward, the more powerful the spike. So dopamine is in the pursuit of the goal. And there are somebody that I've talked about before. Andrew Huberman has an awesome podcast, and he talks about dopamine. And he's one of the few people that I would encourage you to listen to if you really want to understand dopamine and how it works in the body. And he can explain it 100 times better than I can. I gave you my best explanation, as simple as I could. But I've had his information in the notes before, and I'll leave it again. But remember, it is released as you are pursuing your goal. So it's that motivating chemical, and we need that. So what are some of the ways that you can be successful and use that dopaminergic action to your benefit, and some of the other just simple things, creating new habits and things like that that can help you become successful when pursuing your goals? Well, if you understand that the brain is wired to favor routine over novelty, which can also be a bad thing because it would also favor a routine that is unhealthy just because it's routine. How do we turn goals into habits? Well, you have to be consistent, and it's something that you have to actually want to do. If you are not wanting to do something, you're probably not going to get very far. And it's neat thinking about life. And I'm going to take a minute here to ponder, to go back. But my dad always told me, first you have to want to do something. And it wasn't until just now I thought about that. And it makes so much sense. You know, I'm going through my notes, and as I was putting stuff together for this, it just makes sense, right? First, you just have to want to do something. So first you have to want to achieve that goal. You have to want that goal. And then everything else will start working for you. Yeah, you know, I find myself giving my dad so much credit throughout this later part of my life. It's a weird feeling. I don't know if anyone else out there has experienced anything like that, but it's a weird feeling, but it's a neat feeling. And I don't know, I kind of enjoy it. But yeah, anyways. So yeah, you first have to want to do it. And so we're turning goals, turn them into habits. So, be consistent, get after it, and using that dopamine to your advantage. So practice setting small. So if you have a big goal, so let's just take, I want to be healthier. Well, that is a very broad goal, and your brain does not like that. Your brain likes specifics. Your brain likes direction. Your brain likes to know what we are going after because it is designed that way. So we kind of have an idea now how dopamine works. We know it's that pursuit of the goal that kind of gets you turned on and fired up. And that we know that achieving small goals encourages us to do it again. It kind of completes that cycle, and then it makes you want to do it again. So take those bigger goals, those bigger resolutions that you have, and break them down. So let's say we have, I want to be healthier. Well, that is a very broad goal. We have to break it down into little pieces so we can achieve little bits of it. And it's a compound interest type thing. So if your main goal is you want to be healthier, okay, where do we start? Well, maybe it's, I want to drink more water. Pretty sure a lot of us out there, we don't drink enough water. So that could be the start. I want to drink so much water a day. Well, you can do that just about anywhere, any time of the day. You can achieve that. And you do that for a little bit. That becomes habit. It becomes to the point to where you're always drinking water. And you're getting your water intake. So you've written down the goal. I want to be healthier. How am I going to start this? I want to drink more water. I want to drink so many ounces of water a day. You write that on there. When you achieve it, celebrate. Celebrate. Don't do anything crazy. Don't do anything that's going to inhibit you from achieving your goal, right? But celebrate. Talk about it. Be happy about it. Celebrate with the folks that are encouraging you. Celebrate with those folks that are like-minded, that are maybe on the same path as you. Help them. But if you achieve it, you should celebrate it. And then you level up. So the next thing may be, I want to eat. I want to take away something. So now we have a negative. Because we just had a positive. We're adding more water. Now I want to have a negative. So negative is going to be, I'm going to take something away. Maybe it's, I'm going to stop eating 2 bags of chips a week. I'm going to go down to 1 bag of chips. So, you do that. Once you start getting good at that and you've gotten yourself down to 1 bag of chips a week and you're feeling good about it, boom, celebrate it. Celebrate it. So now you're drinking all your water, you're eating less chips. What comes next? Maybe it's, I want to start walking. Set a goal for that. I want to walk. I want to do 5,000 steps, 6,000, 7,000, 10,000 steps. Everybody's got something on their arm or in their pocket that counts a step. You write that down. You're looking at it. You're getting after it. And now you've achieved that goal. Well, you celebrate. And you keep them going. And before you know it, you've achieved that bigger goal of wanting to be healthier. But you see the pattern there. You have to be consistent. You have to be successful. You have to stay with it. You have to look at it. You have to hold yourself accountable. And these are easy. But you have to be realistic. Everyone out there in the world can do a top 5 video on how to achieve your goals. But I'm not seeing or hearing a lot of people talking about what the individual is capable of, right? They just have a very generic game plan, I guess you would call it, or a checklist. And everybody has this checklist. But that checklist maybe doesn't apply to you because we're different. Everyone's different. Everyone's unique. Everyone has something different that they can do and cannot do. So that those goals, again, need to reflect what you're capable of to encourage you to be successful. And you got to break them down. You got to write them out. And I'm a blue collar boy, so I'm going to say, you got to strap those work boots onto those goals and get after it. Hopefully that doesn't offend anybody. But, you just got to get after it. You got to work for it. You got to get after it. And that's all it is to it. And you need to be proud of what you're doing. And if the folks in your life are hesitant about what you're doing, again, it's okay. Look at that and say, yeah, maybe I need a little time away from you. You're not really giving me what I need to help me be successful. You're not helping me be the best version of me. It's a lot. Life's not easy. I don't know. Did we miss anything here? We talked about why and we're not going to be successful, why we can be successful. We talked about some of the stuff in the brain that's going to help or hurt us. I don't know if I'm kind of going through my notes here, and I didn't really. I wanted to keep this simple, but yeah. So as far as me and what my goals are for 2023, one, as far as this podcast is concerned here, I'm going to continue getting after it. I have, like I said, I've kind of relocated, got myself set up where I'm going to be more comfortable, more room, more podcast friendly. I got some new equipment. It's not set up yet. So editing is going to be easier. Intros are going to be easier. So I'm excited about that. Of course, I'm going to have to learn how to use it. I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. I also want to get, and I've already started working on this too, but I want to get some interviews set up. I think that would be neat. I want more interaction. I want to kind of broaden what topics and direction I go, just because I think there's just a lot out there that I can touch on. So yeah, I got some interviews I want to do. I have I want to do videos for the YouTube channel. I want to videotape all the podcasts so we can also have a video podcast on there, and then just the audio for the other platforms. I want to do I don't know if it will be live or not, but I want to put together a couple CBT workshops this year. I think that would be neat. I think that would be kind of cool for everyone to hear or see, kind of go through that CBT techniques, It's something that I'm interested in, and I know that works and that can be beneficial to folks. And that's really a lot for this thing. I still want to do the 2 a week. I want my PSAs. I want to start getting the PSA piece. I enjoy that shorter, to the point, kind of just informational blast. I like that. And then diving a little bit deeper on the second one. I'm kind of enjoying that. That's going to evolve. I'll get better with that. Personally, I'm going to continue being the best version of me. I have already started, and I started a couple, this has been already ongoing, and I'm going to continue, but I've kind of hunkered down on this being the best version of myself and really focusing on a few priorities. So I don't know, maybe I've already kind of had my goals set and I just didn't know it, but just limiting a lot of background noise has been awesome, and kind of just hunkering down and getting after a couple things has made me really appreciate those things even more, and my attention is there, and I have gotten better. I've learned so much from that, just that focus. I'm going to continue to work on being a better dad, just being a better person, the better version of me. I definitely want to focus on becoming a better listener. I think that's a category, an area that we can always improve on. But as I learn more, I think my level of listening goes up because I hear things differently. I think it's like that old saying they say, you never step in the same river twice. The more I learn, I never hear the same conversation twice. So each time I talk to somebody and I listen, I hear different things. I pick up on different words. I see different things in how they deliver it, just the nonverbal stuff. So that's something that I'm really going to be aware of this year, is just talking less and listening more. And, maybe I'll just save this platform to do all my talking and I'll just do more listening outside of here. So, yeah, I'm just going to continue to just dig in and get after it. And I don't know, there's no place, I'm not like a guy that just sits around and like daydreams about going places and shit and, wanting to do this and wanting to do that. I mean, I'll take some trips and I'll do some stuff, but they're just not a priority right now. Yeah, and I would love to have more. I've had a lot of feedback, but I'd like to have feedback now about maybe ideas, topics for shows. We've had a couple, which I thought was neat, and I've done my best to represent that and talk about it and put the work into research and put together a good show. I'd like to see more of that. Yeah, I'm still going to get after, stay in the gym. We talked about one of the main goals about being healthy, people wanting to be healthier. I'm going to give you a little tip. There's a lot of trash talking that goes on out there. And I am, that's funny that I'm even going to say this because it sounds silly, but I am not sponsored by Planet Fitness, probably never will be. But there's a lot of trash talking that goes on about Planet Fitness. And at the end of the day, unless you are out there and you're taking some type of gear, which gear is it's steroids, testosterone, it's any type of enhancing supplement. Planet Fitness is, you probably are going to grow out of a Planet Fitness. So those other gyms are more for you. But there's more folks out there that are not using performance enhancing supplements. Planet Fitness is plenty enough for you. $10 a month, you get your ass in there, you can get in shape. You can get strong. You can increase your bench. You can increase your squats. And you don't have to be a part of the other places that may make you uncomfortable. So, don't buy into that bullshit. It's inexpensive. They're accessible. I use them because I travel for work. I can be in different locations throughout, Virginia, and in every location I'm at, there's a Planet Fitness, and I can go to the gym after I go to work or before I go to work. Very convenient. It eliminates the excuse, so I feel like I have to go. And it's got everything you need. So, and it's cheap. It's cheap. Do not get caught up in all that junk about, Planet Fitness this and Planet Fitness that. Just get after it. Just go in there and get after it. Plenty enough weights for you. And it's convenient. And you need convenient if you want to work out, because if it's not convenient, you're not going to do it. So I'm going to continue doing it. That's where I go. I enjoy it. I like it. I'm not changing it. It doesn't change who I am, what I think about it. I enjoy calling it Pizza Planet. I laugh about it. But at the end of the day, it's all about just looking good naked. Pizza Planet can do that for you. So get in there and get after it, and you'll be just fine. yeah, I don't know. I think that should be cover just about everything. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Um, we can recap. Just be aware of what you're capable of. Write down these goals, chunk them up into small pieces. Get after those smaller pieces, achieve it, win it, celebrate it. Move on to the next one until you hit the big one. Surround yourself with support. Take yourself away from the circle of folks that are not supporting you. Learn about some shit. If you want to eat healthier, then you better learn how to cook. Like, none of this stuff is hard. None of this stuff is complicated. If your goal is I want to eat better, well, learn how to cook. Go buy a cookbook. Get online. Watch YouTube videos. Ask me. I've been cooking professionally for over 20 years. I know how to cook. It's all about making something out of nothing, eating good. But if it's going to be easy, it's going to be convenient. If you can do it, it will help you. You can't just keep going to these places that are ordering all this food from these box companies that mail you this stuff. That shit's expensive. Learn how to cook. Learn how to grocery shop. Don't waste food. It's discouraging. What else? I don't know. I don't think there is anything else. I think that pretty much covers everything. It's pretty straight. Just remember, put some work boots on those goals. Get after it. Work hard. Stay positive. Be the best version of you. And at the end of the day, if you feel like you just can't do it, if you feel like you're just incapable of achieving any type of goal, watch somebody else do something good for somebody else. That will make you happier than you doing something good for somebody else. It's a weird thing, but it's a humanistic thing. We are more pleased by watching an act of kindness than we are even doing it. And that may motivate you. That may motivate you to want to do something nice for somebody. That may motivate you to want to better yourself so you can help somebody. I know that sounded weird. Maybe doesn't sound like it fits in, but it is something that will motivate you internally. It will also release some of that serotonin, that dopamine. It will get those chemicals going is the point I'm trying to make. So yeah, if you feel like you're done, you're down, you need some type of motivation, you don't need to flip on one of those weird motivational videos. Watch an act of kindness. Just pay attention. Watch somebody do something for somebody else. It will get those chemicals going. It might just motivate you a little bit. It might make you want to do something for yourself. I don't know, or something for somebody else. But it'll get it going for you so you can get after it. I think that's all I got for this one. I'm excited for 2023. I'm excited for everyone out there listening. I think we need to really start sharing these videos so we can get a broader audience, so I can get more feedback and I can get more inspired to continue to get after it. 2023 is going to be a good year. It's going to be a year we all just hunker down and get after it. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's progress and hearing about it. So until the next time, take care. Talk to you later.